Well, good morning. Welcome to my lean-to. This is week 4 of self-isolation. I've managed to get a lot accomplished out here in the last, actually I've been out here pretty heavy the last week and a half. Mainly cutting firewood, stuff like that, preparation for next winter. I've started working on a loop trail so that I can get the four-wheeler back in here in one big circle without having to turn around. Plus I've got a trail not too far down over the hill, so once I get hooked into that trail I will have another loop trail, which none of the trails that I like out here. I can go for a hike, I can go squirrel hunting or rabbit hunting, and just make a big circle, as well as deer hunting. It helps me keep an eye on my deer population. So today I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 trees out front of here that I would like to cut down. And once I get them cut down and chopped up into firewood, 5 out of the 7 trees are deader than a doornail. The reason I want to cut down the other 2 live ones is I have 2 maple trees out front that I am going to prune up and let grow. They should get really big, and in the summertime that will create some shade here on the lean-to, which would make it nice because running the camera and all that's a lot easier to do on a cloudy day or in the shade. So that's my plan. But the real reason for knocking them trees down is once I do that, I can see approximately 100 yards southwest. So, and there's 2 deer runs that cross that. So my thinking is, I spend a lot of time out here anyways. The deer have become used to my scent, my smell, my presence. I have a game camera over there. This place is flocked with deer once I leave. It is amazing to watch. And I will be bringing you some of them videos I already have, but it's amazing how much time the deer spend at this lean-to. So my plan come next November is in this corner right here, build a little bit of a ground blind and set inside of it so that I can look out over these 2 runs. And I'm not looking for the does, I'm looking for the buck that might be trailing the does, because I mainly hunt in full rut. So that's my game plan for this spot, as we've talked about many times in the past, but it's coming together. I have been working on this spot now for close to a year. We put the backdrop up, the lean-to. The reason I say backdrop is because you don't want your silhouette, especially if you're sitting on the ground. So with this kind of thing that's been here all year, the deer have gotten used to it. So if I can tuck myself down inside with the wind coming out of the, I need a north wind. Oh, I was, yeah, probably north-south kind of deal. If I can get a wind coming in from this direction here, then that puts me the way I would only hunt this spot. Because if the wind is coming from this direction, 99% of the deer come in from that way. So they would smell my scent instantly. So and that's just kind of a little bit of scent control. Like I said, I try to get the deer, the does especially, used to my scent, so that's not an issue. But just in case a buck wants to come through and he's not trailing a doe, and I try to watch my scent control that way. Certain sites out here, I only hunt them in specific wind directions. All the wood is wet. We're still waiting on the snow to dry. To melt. So, but anyways, that's today's venture out here at the lean-to. I hope the rest of you are all staying safe and all of that. I really feel bad for anybody that's struggling right now. It is a crazy, crazy time that we're living in. But I do believe that we will make it to the other side. We'll all be stronger for it. I think we'll all think a little differently. Everything, especially in this country, has been pretty smooth sailing for 40 years anyways. Back in the 70s was a bad time, but since then we've had a couple of things go wrong, but nothing that was long lasting. So if I was you, my advice to anyone that's taken the time to watch my videos is I would dig in like the ticks on a hound's back. Because I do believe it's going to be a rough ride for a little while. Not because I don't think we'll get back to normal, but because I think it's going to take a while for people's mentality to back off and not hoard so much. I got a feeling hoarding in the near future is going to be a bigger issue than it has been in the past, because of the food shortage scare that the country is seeing for the first time. Especially if you're a millennial, you're probably seeing this for the very first time in your life. Everything has been pretty smooth going for you up to this point. Yeah, I know you probably don't want to hear that, but it is absolutely the truth. Back in the 70s, long lines at the gas station because there was no fuel. Well, that really hasn't been the case in many years in this country now. And our grocery stores have always been fully stocked. You can get whatever you want. And if you couldn't get it at a grocery store, you could order it. I think those days have ended for a little while. Personally, I think they've ended for a minimum of a year. So that's why I say maybe we should dig in like the ticks on a hound's back. Because I do believe that it'll take the food machine in this country that long to catch up. A little bit of a wind in the background. Yesterday I was out here, it was really windy. I videotaped it anyways because that's real life. Some days when I'm out here in the woods, it is windy. And yesterday was one of them really windy days. At the end of this video, I'll put you in some links to more topics about the great state of Maine. There'll be 3 of them. I also have a round circle back there. I'm standing next to a bear. Click that bear if you'd like to subscribe to my channel. Looking forward to meeting you, and come along with me to the state of Maine.